Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we're talking about Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. There's been a character named Durwood that is close to the family that we're going to talk about tonight. A new recording that's very weird, isn't it, Daphne?
It is very weird, yes.
Is it more lie or more distraction, or is it the truth? A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They call me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's the twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my path, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Any clutch, better tighten the pearls. Drop the cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
RCMP, open up.
Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining us. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here with Miss Daphne and I. Today
Hello.
is March 7th, 2026. It is currently 6:05 p.m. for both of us on the East Coast of the United States. Hi. Good to see everyone. Well, hello, Miss Daff.
Well, hello, Justin. What do we got going
How's
on today?
Oh God. Boy, I was surprised to hear this going on. So last night while I was actually live, I was emailed um and by one of our friends who is another creator and Ninji, and she I was going to go live with her afterwards, but it's such a big time frame difference, between where she lives and I live. So we're hopefully going to do a live together sometime soon. But she was doing a review on this, and I had
Mm,
not heard about it. And not only Daff, so there's a new interview uh, that our friend hidden in the fog
Susan.
here on YouTube, Susan, did, and she does more on TikTok than she does YouTube. But make sure you sub up to her YouTube channel for sure for the YouTube people. If you guys mods, if y'all don't mind dropping it in all four chats, so greatly appreciate that. Hidden in the fog. You can also find it in the description below. She did a live interview with Mr. Durwood. And it's interesting how he's saying some new things. And AB did a live as well with his I don't know where the interview came from. It's with Durwood's son. Is it Jordan?
Yes, that's his name, Jordan. Yeah.
When was that interview? Do you remember?
I'm not too sure when it was interviewed. I
Mhm.
just know that AB, I believe, was covering maybe someone else's interview with
Okay.
him, but I'm not too sure. Yeah. I believe
Mhm.
the original was taken down, is from what I heard through the grapevine.
Okay. I hear Jordan
I don't.
loves me. Thank you, Jordan. Love you, baby. Um,
Mm,
he mentioned me. Such a joy. He doesn't.
mm,
I guess I get under his little skin a little bit.
mm.
Some of us do.
Yeah.
But anyway, I should have brought my lipstick out. I'd have put it on just for him. Mm.
Yeah, the red lipstick.
Anywho,
Yeah.
yeah. So, um,
It
it
was
was a
members only.
members only video with who?
Yeah. Who was
Members
the
only with,
original?
yeah. No,
Justin, I find it quite weird, right? My word,
mhm,
weird, that this toolbox or tools keeps getting brought up. First, we had Daniel say that, I was helping mom fix the fence, and he gave so many details, as in, I got to go find my tools, right? It took me a while, but I found my tools. And then there was a wrench above the door that was
mhm,
supposedly to keep bear, like if a bear came in the house,
mhm.
just through that one door though, right? One
But
wrench for the one door,
I
even though
don't
they
believe
have
that.
4 doors. Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
that's
either.
where Daniel's getting the charges, in my opinion.
For the wrench, yeah, the
Well,
wrench.
for locking them allegedly inside. What's interesting to me is, and you're going to hear it in this interview that we're about to play. Durwood, when he went straight to Janie and Daniel, and Janie said, "Once Durwood explained it all to me, it made sense." And that never set right by me. How could Durwood be explaining something that Janie lived through?
Exactly, if he wasn't allegedly there. And
So we wonder what the motivation is. What's the motivation? I guess that's the question we're asking. What's the motivation behind Durwood, his son as well? Now, Daniel and Jordan are good friends, right?
yes, they have been since I believe they were like in high school or something like that.
Hang out a lot, all of that. They allegedly both love Coca-Cola, the all of that stuff as well. Jordan even has his little picture on there with his social media that has like a chicken with a math pipe. So endearing, so endearing.
What? What the?
Oh yeah, go figure.
What?
So does anyone else get ads while live on? Yes, you they do it now. Kim, it comes off as too much not being significant. I think Darren's statement about the wrench was a soft disclosure. Hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
Hey, Karen, Grace, Trishy, Wildflower, Ron, Wild Angel, Roxy, Shari, Bonnie, Nancy. Good to see everyone. Thank you all so much for being here, whether you're in Daphne's or my chat on the pearls here. Make sure you click that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate every single one of you here. If you guys would share the live out, hit that share button and click that link and share it in any of your favorite social media. It helps so much. Can't even tell you. Much love to each of y'all being here. All right. So this is our friend hidden in the fog. And I love her. She does a really good job. She really does a really good
lets
job.
people talk. She lets them
Yes.
talk, and that's
she's
what you're
not
supposed to do.
she's not judgmental like I am.
No,
She just lets them talk, and wherever it goes, which is great. Which is, everyone has their own technique and all that. And that's why people like Durwood and stuff will talk to her, because she's truly, she won't fire back with the question. She just lets them talk, and wherever it falls, whatever people's opinions are of it or whatever, she just lets them have it. And that's absolutely great. Do you have anything before we start?
No, I just keep thinking about the tools. That instance, that
Can you explain
circumstance.
what the tools? Can you explain
Okay,
that?
so the tools, right? There's so many mentions of the tools. For instance, like, Justin, I'm going to go help my mother build a fence, right? I'm just going to go help my mom build a fence. Like, if you're trying to give a timeline, would you come out and say, oh, I had to go look for my tools. It took me a while, but I found my tools. Would you add that in? That's like something like we don't need to know, like TMI, right? Like over explaining something.
Daniel,
so that tells me something's up with that, in my opinion.
I agree. Daniel only mentions things that, for instance, let me show you an example. When he says never was asked in an interview or anything, but he adds, and I don't go on Facebook or anything with only my screen name. I don't go under any other names. Well, we found out that he absolutely goes under different screen names, because he posted about Jack and Lilly under someone else, a fake profile. He adds these things. And it's not for necessarily us, in my opinion. It's for him in my opinion, later explaining to the RCMP, well, yeah, I mentioned that I did this in an interview 3 weeks ago or whatever. I said that I did that. Well, this helps explain
Mm-hmm.
that lie. So,
Exactly.
uh, so Daniel said it took some time to get the tools together to do that. And remember, they got home about 4 o'clock that day. He said he was in the house by what, 8:30 that night?
Yep, at dark, at nighttime, at nightfall, yeah. And
Yeah.
Janie just let it when she was just recently spoke with another creator that she went inside around the same time. Because I
Mhm.
was always wondering, what time did Janie go inside? Because she said she went
Mhm.
inside to get supper, but we never really knew what time she went in. But in this last conversation recently, through Facebook Messenger, I believe, she said that she went inside around between that same time, right, when Daniel was
Mhm.
supposedly coming inside. Then we heard that Jack and Lily also went inside from Permalea around the same time as well when it got dark. So all of them should have went inside the
Mhm.
house at the same time, except for Janie going in her camper.
Yep. Yep. Okay, here we go.
All right.
The efforts, as everybody knows, and the passage of time, there really has been no confirmed trace of where
Uh, you might want to mute Daphne. I think I hear a background. I don't know, or it might be just this. I don't know.
I muted.
Lily and Jack
It's
went.
theirs.
And that is what we
What's that?
It's their side.
Okay.
The sound is, the quality is not too well.
are
Yeah.
here
Okay.
to.
Let-
I don't want gifts sent during this. At the time that we turn comments back on,
Oh crap! Let me fix this. I'm trying to fix
you're welcome
the
to
thing
gift.
to.
And I would
I'm trying to
ask
fix those captions bigger.
that you just also too, when comments are turned back on, channel, and
All right, let's get.
she's given one interview. She left them. Daniel Martell and Lily and Jack, and Daniel and Malaya share a daughter, Meadow. Since then, information about what happened in the home on the day the children disappeared has remained limited. The investigation continues. The questions have not gone away. In fact, they seem to increase. Tonight, we're speaking with Darren Geddes, also known to many as Derwood O'Grady, who's followed the case closely and has spoken publicly about it. He has become somewhat of a controversial figure, in fact. As always, it's important to remember that in any investigation, allegations are not proof, and every individual is entitled to the presumption of innocence, regardless of who you're.
How do I make this
Darren?
bigger?
You're breaking up there. I never heard the first part of your question.
I'm trying to make this bigger.
Oh. Well, I was going to say thank you for joining us tonight.
He kind of breaks up in the beginning a little bit, doesn't he?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Details of the case. I want everybody in chat because some people may not know. I would like the
You
viewers
guys
to
are going to
understand
fall
who
out
you
when you hear
are.
what he says.
Tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Darren Geddes? How did you first become aware of the disappearance of Jack and Lilly Sullivan?
Well, I made this mistake before. I'll make it again. My real name is Karen Geddes.
Yeah, his name is Karen.
I'm a Stellarton rat, Stellarton, Nova Scotia. That's where I was born. I'm a distant relative I'm a distant relative of Jack and Lilly Meadow through my cousin Patty, who was her great grandmother.
He's
Okay.
kind of got a little glitch here in the beginning.
Let me see. I'm nothing special. I'm just a regular guy.
So Durwood is related to Malaya, and
Yes, on his
the
mother's side.
yes, the grandmother Patty that Malaya and Daniel manipulated for cash all the time. That grandmother that bought Malaya a car, the one that they took the credit card and went to Walmart that evening and went and shopped around and all of this stuff. So that one.
Who's concerned about the children
And what was it about the story that captured your attention?
Hi, everybody.
Well, my cousin Patty initially captured my attention. She called me a couple. I got involved in this a couple of weeks actually before the kids went missing.
So Dirtwood says he got involved in this a couple weeks before the kids went missing. I find that highly ironic because he said that he hadn't spoken or anything about Malaya or the family in a long time.
Correct. And then in his previous interview with Susan, he stated that Patty had asked him about, to intervene. I'm just going to say to intervene. And I guess there was some kind of phone call or something or another. And I don't know, like basically saying Malaya didn't need his help, that she had other plans or something to that matter, I believe. And because I always said, like, why didn't he help? And then he explained it in the previous interview. But I didn't know that he had that much contact with Jack and Lilly. I didn't even know that.
Durwood?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, that's a good question because had he ever even seen Jack and Lilly?
I think maybe once or twice, but I don't think it was all the time. But the thing is, I mean, if Malaya was over there, lived there, right? If Malaya lived there, even with Daniel.
Yep.
And he seems like he's good. He's really close with Patty. You would think that he would have seen them all the time.
I think this is a difficult spot for Durwood because he's family with Patty, but his son is very friendly with Daniel. And I think there is, in my opinion, there's a rug aspect to this.
Yes, I agree. And Daniel lived there at Patty's house. So how did
Daniel,
he, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. My schedule is crazy busy. Work is great, but I miss y'all. Glad to catch up today. Keep grinding out the amazing content, Justin. Thank you so much. Miss Gucci. Love you, baby. Appreciate you so much. Give me a text, girl. Love you to pieces. Thank you so much for your continued support, babies. Well, and that's just it. They lived with Patty about a year. And there is no talk about Durwood ever seeing them at Patty's house or anything. So either Durwood was lying then or now or both. You know what I mean? And this is what pisses me off. This is what pisses me off with all of these buffoons. Why are any of you guys lying on a 4 and a 6-year-old? Let's get that straight first. There is no need to lie on a 4 and a 6-year-old when you're telling the truth. If you're telling the truth, it's the truth. You don't need to change it
Yeah.
at all.
I
It's
agree. I agree.
infuriating.
And he's about to get into it with Janie telling Belinda, and Daniel even said that his mom heard someone shush that morning the kids to be quiet.
Yeah.
And then Janie said, no, I didn't hear anybody shush. So I agree with that. Why
All of these
is
lying
there
buffoons.
grown
Shame on
adults lying on a 4 and 6-year-old?
yes. Shame on every one of these mother chickens. Shame on every fucking one of you.
It is ridiculous.
Women's
Thank you,
warrior.
Women's Warrior.
Thank you so much, Ivy. Appreciate you. Welcome, welcome to the Daphnites.
Daphnites. Daffodils.
Okay. So Patty called you a couple of weeks after the children went missing, and what happened there?
Well, she actually called me. We actually talked off and on anyway.
Okay.
No, she actually called me before the children went missing a couple of weeks, before the children went missing.
Okay.
The sound in the back is coming from Durwood's, and he's probably in his math house grinding up some math or something with that sound.
And what did she call you about?
I don't understand. Who saws
What?
while they're on a live? Like, that's crazy.
He don't care. He don't care.
It's freaking nuts.
She called me for my advice on a car, whether she should co-sign a car for Malaya. Like I'm into old cars and that. And I buy, like I look for wise on them.
Okay. You're breaking up a little tiny bit. So Patty called you to ask your advice about co-signing a car for Malaya?
Damn. Thank you, Women's Warrior. Oh, heck no. I would be so
Are you there,
pissed off.
Darren?
Yeah, I just switched back because our sound seems to be breaking up that other way.
Oh, okay.
So he says Patty calls Durwood. How convenient to say that Patty called you to buy for advice to buy a car from Malaya. I don't believe that for a fucking second.
No, and the thing is too, I've heard that basically the whole thing with her asking him to intervene and get Malaya and the kids out was bogus too. But I can't confirm it. Like it never happened.
Exactly, T-Walk. Why? Why would Patty call him liar?
I don't understand that.
Buffoonery. And why now? I find this very interesting how him and Jordan and all of them are, trying to make fetch here happen whenever right after Daniel, all this is happening with Daniel.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I find the timing very coincidental.
Well, what gets me is how are you going to you're going to step out and come out on YouTube and put yourself out there, and then you get mad at others for talking about it, for talking about what you said, right? Like if you don't want people to say anything, then you don't say anything. Like I don't understand, like why put yourself out there? It just doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
why are you putting yourself out? Why are you intervening in this if you had nothing to do with it? You know what I mean? And then to get so angry over it just doesn't, I don't know, doesn't sit well with me. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Do you know what I mean, though? Like, say,
Uh,
for instance, you're going to go and there he is. There he is. Like, why would you put yourself out there if you can't take the heat, right? Don't jump in the fire if you can't take the heat. People are always
mm,
going to talk.
well, again, why say more lies? Why say more lies if you don't want people to talk about this? And again, why are you lying on a 4 and a 6-year-old? Because, in my opinion, either you are just blithely unaware of how things work, or this serves you in some way. At least he thinks it serves him or someone he loves in some way.
And that's it. Someone he loves or whatever. Why would you stick your neck out for someone, for instance, like Janie, right? He said he didn't even know really who she was until Jack and Lily disappeared. So it's like, how are you going to vouch for Daniel and Janie that they didn't do anything, right? Even Malaya,
Well,
if you weren't there. I don't get it.
allegedly, Daniel and Malay, or at least Daniel, was over at Jordan's house the day before Jack and Lily went missing.
Yeah, I've heard that too, but I don't know if it's,
Didn't like a neighbor say allegedly that they saw?
Yeah, there was a woman that came out and said that
I
she
don't know
saw 2
how
kids or
reliable or
something.
anything she is, but I remember that.
Mhm.
And I find it.
Mhm.
Hold on. Actually, let me just do I have it here? Let me just show you. Daniel has clearly talked about his rug use. He has obviously not spoken about, he denies, I'll say, whenever the rug use close to when Jack and Lily went missing, right?
Mhm.
We know that, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So, in my opinion, there was a deal done in the parking lot of the Dollarama the day, or that evening before Jack and Lily went missing. Okay, I'll say that.
Mhm.
And like, Daniel and them made good money, especially to have no freaking bills, right? This is the kind of stuff that Jordan puts on his profile. Just let me show you this.
Oh, yeah, I've seen. Thank you, helicopter grandma. I appreciate you. I said it right this time. Usually I say helicopter mom.
Right. Release the Kraken. And so obviously Daniel and Jordan and Durwood are all in the know, right? Because you've got to be in the know in a little place like Lansdowne Station and all of that area in Pictou County. If you are a token, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's pretty apparent to me. Now,
Hi, Al.
let me show you guys something 1 second here. I might have to pop this up. Okay. I'm going to play
Mhm.
this just 1 second
Okay.
before we get to, is this part 1? Okay, that's part 2. Okay, this is part 1. Okay. Listen to this. This is Daniel's interview on DT show. I want you to listen. It's a minute or two long clip.
I asked him, I was like, what else is there that you don't want coming out? Now, he's been open about this. We've had our interview, and he said, yeah, his prior drug history is drug use. And, you know, some of that might be what's redacted. Now, I've asked him before, and, you know, he's alluded to in the past that it'd been some time that he had taken drugs and things of that nature. And based on my conversation with him, I don't know how accurate that is, how long it had been, you know, since he had taken drugs. And, you know, the drugs that he had told me he had taken were stimulants, and that he's been very open about this. Again, he said this in our interview that we had, that he had done drugs and that was a thing. Now, I asked Malaya's camp inside, like, hey, what's going on? According to the person that I spoke to.
Okay, that's part one. And then there's a little part two right here that even DT spoke to Malaya's camp, and, you know, they all talk about Daniel's drug use.
I asked Malaya's camp inside, like, hey, what's going on? According to the person that I spoke to, Malaya has told them that Daniel was using drugs that night prior or leading up to the disappearance of the kids. Daniel denies that. He says, no. I go, what were you doing that night? And he told them that Daniel was using drugs, that Daniel was using drugs, that Daniel was using drugs, that Daniel was using drugs that night prior or leading up to the disappearance of the kids. Daniel denies that. He says, no, that's not true. Now, I asked him what he was doing that night, because I've asked him before, you know, he's not ever really given me a clear answer. And I go, what were you doing that night? And he goes, I don't remember. He goes, it was 6 months ago. I don't remember. I don't like that answer. And the reason I don't like that answer is because I'm sure he's been asked that question multiple times by law enforcement. I'm sure, you know, the next day or the day after or the day that the kids get reported missing, those are probably one of the first few and probably the most commonly asked questions. Now,
bingo. And in my opinion, this has to do with rugs.
That's the core of it.
Yeah. It's not ever a surprise. You know, I've shown texts where Daniel says he's done rugs every day for years, and it doesn't affect him. He says, you know, the mathola doesn't affect him like it does other people, he says.
Because you got tolerance.
So I'll go this way. No, Patty and I, we've been in contact all our lives.
No. I don't think it's, no, not at all. No. What in my opinion, this has to do with potentially, you know, they don't want to get in trouble. If let's say the kids got into something or whatever, it could go back on them as well. Who was that? Remember the night that Jack and Lily went missing? They said someone was in a black vehicle with Daniel.
Yeah, that black vehicle comes up a few times. Yeah. And sorry, I heard thunder. And it also comes up, I don't know, it comes up like throughout since they went missing, right? You hear about a black vehicle. And I remember in the beginning, Darren also said that they showed up in a vehicle, right? Daniel and his friends. and they were sketchy friends. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a real epidemic. Canadians are overprescribed ADHD medicine. Well, I think the top 5 prescription medicines in the United States is Adderall.
Wow.
So,
I know college kids take them a lot or something, or take that a lot.
I mean, if you need it, great.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Daniel will take what he can get. A lot of damage can be done in 5 nights of being awake on rugs. Yes. And it can also be done, especially if they have kids, when the crash happens and they sleep for days.
Sleep for days. Have you ever tried to stay up, right? Just normally, when you're young. You start getting delirious after the first day, right?
Well, yeah.
You're
But the
getting
thing
delirious
is,
on your own
yeah.
without her.
But the thing is with they say with like the math and the Coca-Colas and all that is that even after they've been up for so long, they want to go to sleep and they can't. They're exhausted because your body is like, damn, I need to sleep, but
Yeah.
it won't let you. And then you become very irritable naturally.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because they
And
want
then
everything to be quiet. And if you got children that are loud,
I've showed a man and a woman. The guy was with this woman, and she was kind of she was a little bit slower, you know what I mean? And he took advantage of her, but that he had 2 kids with her, and he would smoke the meth. And he wanted everything to be quiet. He wanted the kids to be quiet because he thought people were coming. The police were coming. Well, he unalived his son and beat the little girl almost to death.
yeah, because they have no idea. They have no idea what they're doing. They think they're hearing shit and seeing stuff, and I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
It's like a bad trip, like on acid. You know what I
I
mean?
just don't to me, I don't understand how that's fun.
No, I don't either. I like to sleep, so there ain't no freaking way I'm doing this shit.
They say the math is more of a mental rather than like a physical dependency. It's like their mind has to have it or something.
Jeez.
And I think math is the worst thing ever. I think it's the worst, like other than of course like Flocka or something like that. But I think it's the worst because it's one that just that the violence really comes out in the person.
Pretty close families and cousins between Colchester County and Pictou County. And she called me about 2 weeks before the children went missing, and I look around for some of my friends. I was into the mechanic business and that for a while when I was younger, and I know a little bit about vehicles. And Patty was sort of just wondering if there was any good buys around on any decent vehicles, and she was asking me if I thought she should co-sign a loan for Malaya to get a car. So she stated to me that Malaya was living out in the country, and at that time I didn't even know where, and that she had small children, and that they were driving an old rattle trap that wasn't safe. And
okay, I just caught something. You're such a liar. You are such a fucking liar, Durwood. If you was all in Daniel's and Malaya's and the kid's life when Patty was living there, you wouldn't have said, well, she said she had a couple kids. She had a couple kids. That right there shows you were not involved in Malaya's or the kid's life in any way, shape, or form. Any way, shape, or form. Right there. She said she had a couple of kids.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That proves
Shouldn't
it
he have known
right
that
there.
if he was? Yeah,
Hell yes.
there's your answer.
Hell yes.
And that makes me wonder, Malaya lived, like I said earlier, Malaya lived with Patty. So how
That's
did
what I'm
he not even know?
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
understand.
Mhm. Exactly. How Durwood? Explain that. You're just going to
Exactly.
pile another load of BS on top of that. Listen to what he says right there. Why are these
Mhm.
people lying on a 4 and a 6-year-old story?
I thought she should
Mhm.
co-sign a loan for Malaya to get a car. So she stated to me that Malaya was living out in the country, and at that time I didn't even know where, and that she had small children, and that they were driving an old rattle trap that wasn't safe, and Patty was concerned about that.
How
But wait a
far
minute.
does Durwood? Okay,
His
go ahead.
son, I'm
That's
sorry,
yep.
his
You're saying it.
son
Yeah,
is best friends with Daniel.
yeah.
Like, come on, like,
Don't he live close? Does he live close to Daniel?
I can measure it real quick. I mean, it's not far. It's probably like what, 20 minutes, maybe?
Okay, that's further than I
I mean,
thought.
it's
But
not like it's a. Let me look. I'll check. I don't know for
yeah,
the actual mileage.
yeah,
I'll
they're
check.
BFFs. And wait a second. Don't you remember this? Didn't Durwood say that Daniel and 2 other people came to his place like a day or so before or after Jack and Lily went missing as well? Remember at the
Right
barn?
after?
Yeah, the barn.
Yes, he says Daniel
Yeah,
and a woman and a
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
and he
Mhm.
said basically calling them sketchy.
Yeah. So right before Jack and Lily go missing, he says Patty calls and says, "Oh, should I co-sign
Yep.
for my granddaughter?" Even though Daniel and Durwood's son are like BFFs.
BFFs since they were like in high school.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then I don't
So
know if
how
it
the
was a
hell
day
did
or two before or a day or two after or whenever it was close. Durwood says, "Oh, well, Daniel and like a guy and a girl came to my place in a barn." Why
Mhm.
is all of this happening right around the time the children go missing, Durwood?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got going on here?
And I sort of was curious as to why she wanted my advice on it. But anyway, I asked her what.
Yeah, I can't imagine wanting Durwood's advice on anything, on absolutely anything, and I don't believe this for a second.
Mhm.
What's the deal? And she said, well, I'm thinking about co-signing a car for Malaya, but Cindy doesn't want me to. And I knew that Patty raised the kids. Like they lived, Hayden and Malaya lived at Patty's most of the time.
Why would Cindy care? Why would Malaya's mother care if Malaya got a car
Yeah.
if her mom was paying for it? I mean, she
Yeah.
may be like, "Mom, I don't want you to, haul around this." So she hauls around this math, this
It's
math guy
like
or whatever.
it's like 11 miles, Justin, from
Yeah,
where Jack and Lily disappeared from
just a
too.
few
Yeah.
minutes, like 10, 11 minutes, not far at all, right?
Yeah. Yeah, not far. Not yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, that
Okay,
sucks. What was there?
this is who Durwood reminds me of. There we go.
So Patty and I know each other very well. We can talk, we can always talk very personally about anything. And I said, well, what's the problem, Patty? Why would Cindy not want you to co-sign a car for Malaya? And she said, well, I don't know. She said, I'd like to. What do you think? And I just told her, well, Patty, I look at it this way. My boys, I kind of spoiled my boys. They took grief for it sometimes, but I said, Patty, how are you going to feel if they do have an accident in the car with little kids in an old rattle trap, and then you're going to feel guilty the rest of your life if they get hurt or something. And to be honest,
I find this interesting. And you know something? You know what I'm thinking now, Daff?
Yeah.
I'm trying to really, because people only do. 1 second. Go ahead and talk if
Someone
you don't
asked,
mind.
yeah, someone said, how close are Hayden and Daniel Martell? So from what I know, they're not close. I think it's like an hour, if I'm not wrong, like 45 minutes to an hour, I believe. And the thing is, I know what's coming up here in this video where he talks about Hayden and the clothing and stuff being found. But think about it. Hayden had Patty in the car. So if that was truly him there, how did he have enough time to go and get Patty and come back, right? Like at 1:30. It just doesn't make sense unless he has an airplane.
You know what's making, because people only do something if they want to, and it's usually for a benefit, right? It benefits someone.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to
Yeah.
think why Durwood is doing this, and now
Mhm.
Jordan and all of them. And now I'm thinking about the vehicle, because Durwood is talking about a vehicle.
The
right?
black SUV.
We know that
Yeah.
he has lied about. We know that he has lied about owning. What was it? A Hyundai? Or
Honda Civic. Oh no, not Honda Civic.
something that he sold.
Kia
Remember we
Rio.
pulled. I
Oh,
pulled it.
Subaru. Oh, Subaru. I don't know. Jeez.
On
Kia.
no.
Subaru. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Sold something recently. On Facebook, right? I can't remember the vehicle. If you
It was
guys
a
can
black.
remember.
I've got it. I've got the photo.
Hyundai. Okay. Honda CRV. Hyundai.
Where he had just.
A bucket.
It wasn't that. I don't think it was. Maybe it was, but he's doing this for a reason. I used to think it was just for attention, but I don't now. I don't. I think
No, yeah.
there's some. I mean, I think he liked the attention in the beginning, but Durwood really doesn't like people to review him or anything like that.
No, he gets really upset. I just want to say this. No one gets involved unless they are involved, in my opinion, right? Like this,
That's
anyways. Yes, people care and they want to involve themselves, but not like this. Why are you sticking your neck out for other people that you were supposedly not around? Why are you sticking your neck out for them? What do they have on you? That's the way I look at it. What do they have on you?
with you, Patty, and I can be very honest. I said, Patty, you've got no shortage of money. You know, you could buy her a car outright, not hurt you financially. So other than that, Patty, I said, I just worry about feeling guilty about not doing it later. So if it was me, I'd do it. She said, okay, I'm gonna. So that was 2 weeks before the kids went missing.
Okay.
Actually, it was a little more than 2 weeks before the kids went missing. So anyway, then she called me back again, and she said, Darren, I want you to come over for a visit. And I said, okay. So anyway, I went over, and she said, look, I'm concerned about Jack. And I said, why? And she said, Jack's showing up with a couple black eyes and scratches and that, and I'm wondering if Daniel's being too rough with him. And I said, well, I don't know, Patty. Like, you know, what can I do? What do you want me to do? And she said, well, you know Daniel, and you know.
Hi, cool. No, think about it. If this happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't Patty have called, like, wouldn't she? Why would she call Darren and ask Darren to do this, right? What is Darren's position? I mean, we've learned that he used to be a boxer, right? Maybe that's why.
Well,
Was he a fixer or something, right?
right. Patty's calling Durwood for financial advice, and now uh, about little Jack having bruises
Nothing.
and getting banged up and all of that stuff. I I don't buy it. I think Patty might have spoken to him since Jack and Lily went missing and said, "Yeah, there was bruises on the kids, and I, was concerned or whatever, but didn't
Mhm.
didn't do anything about it." Um, but I don't think
Funny.
this was beforehand at all.
Yeah.
Well, the Mackenzie's not over there. And I said, well, I know Daniel very slightly from a few years ago being a friend of my son's. And I said, but I haven't seen them around much. They
From a few years ago of knowing his sons. How
Mm.
about, a few hours ago or a few days ago from knowing your sons?
live 20 or 25 minutes away, and I don't really see them. And she just asked me, well, if you see Daniel, will you ask him about Jack? And just inquire.
This doesn't even make sense. If you see Daniel, why don't you just maybe ask him about, bruises under a 4-year-old's eyes?
You're not going to ask anybody. You're going to act, right? You're going to act on that. You're not going to ask anybody to do anything. You're going to act. You're going to call the police, right? First, you're going to say something to the mother and be like, what is happening to my grandkids, right? Or my great grandkids? Why do they have bruises all over them? Why do they have scrapes and scratches and stuff like that, right? And if she doesn't do something, then you're going to call the police. You're going to call her mother, like Cindy, right? And be like, hey, what's going on? And then
Why
the
why
mom's
wouldn't
probably going to intervene.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, why wasn't the authorities called on this?
Exactly.
But Durwood
Well,
was.
you would think Patty would talk to Cindy, right? If she was going
Mm-hmm.
to talk to anybody,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
CPS, obviously, even though CPS was already there.
Well, think about it. What would you do? So say, you know what I mean?
What would I do?
I would flip out.
You damn right. I would be there to pick up my daughter and my grandkids and say, if you don't get your
Mm-hmm.
fucking ass in the car right now, I'm taking these
Mm-hmm.
kids or I'm calling CPS right now. And you can sit here with this worthless sack of shit. Or
Yep.
you can come with me. That's what I would say.
Yep. And then
But that's just me.
somebody's getting black eyes. The grown-ups getting black eyes. The man who did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yep.
but it's a shame that happened after the kids went missing. And
Mm-hmm.
Malaya was saved, if you will, or finally made the decision to leave. But Jack and Lily didn't get that decision. Nobody made that for them.
No,
Garbage
somebody
humans.
did make that for them, but they left the wrong way, in my opinion.
Well, no, what I'm saying is nobody made
Yeah.
the decision to go get Jack and Lily
To go get them.
to
Mm-hmm.
save them or anything. But Malaya, she got out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Pieces of garbage.
Right.
Make sure everything's okay between him and the kids.
Mhm.
I said, yeah, I will if I see him, Pat. So a couple weeks went by, and
How could a couple weeks went by, Durwood, whenever you just said it was about 2 weeks before Jack and Lily went missing, whenever you first spoke to her about the car?
Would that be okay? So Malaya got the vehicle, what, April 1st, right? Around April 1st, she got a vehicle. Cindy and
She got it legal though, what, Friday, Thursday?
Yeah, it was like a couple weeks after that, right?
She got it legal.
Or
Well, she was at the DMV a day or two
oh, that's right,
before.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I
Wednesday,
mean,
yeah.
she had just got it
Mhm.
legal, and I don't find that a coincidence. She gets it legal, and the kids go missing because Daniel
Yeah,
popped the
exactly.
lid, obviously.
Yeah, I agree. No coincidence. Absolutely. It is sad. I mean, the
Very
teacher,
sad.
it seemed like the teachers called the CPS. That's what it seems like to me, right?
Yeah, but the teachers, they can only do what they can do. All they can do is see it, report it, and if CPS doesn't act, there's nothing more. Then I can imagine being a teacher and
Mhm.
doing the right fucking thing, seeing these kids coming with bruises, missing 40 some days of school, not having coats, all of that. You know that this is a rug infested place, and you
Mhm.
you did the right thing, and they were failed. They were failed. I can't imagine being those teachers.
I can't either.
Been hearing about two kids that got abducted out in, but when I heard about it, they were telling us around Tim Hortons that it was in Glengarry Station, which is it's a few miles east of Lansdowne. So I never thought in the world that it was Malaya's kids, that it was Jack and Lily. I never thought about that.
Okay.
So then, Jesus Christ, it was about 2 weeks
Hold on.
after the
What did
kids
he say?
that it was Jack and Lily. So which is it's a few miles east of Lansdowne. So I never thought in the world that it was Malaya's kids, that it was Jack and Lily. I never thought about that.
Wait, what? How would you not know, Pat? Wait a minute.
Exactly. Yeah, you're picking up. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? Oh, from like when he heard two kids. He posted on X. He posted on Twitter on May 3rd saying, is there going to be a search? You had to have known. It's on your X account.
Everybody
I
in
don't
that area
understand.
knew. It was huge news. It was huge
Yeah.
news.
He's saying 2 weeks. He
Everything's
knew.
in. He's so full of shit.
I have a screenshot of the X account where he said, are you guys going to search, talking to the RCMP? And it's Jack and Lily.
Hope you feel better, Sherry. And yes, Durwood is related to Malaya. They weren't close by anything like that, but yes.
So then, Jesus Christ, it was about 2 weeks after the kids went missing, and I had been hearing on somewhere that the Mounties were making an inquiry about a black SUV. Did anybody know anything about a black SUV?
I haven't heard this part. That's very interesting, Daff. What did I just say?
Yeah, the black SUV
He's
again.
talking about that fucking black SUV. I'm going to find this. I've got it somewhere. And Durwood said, why would I lie about having, he said this in DT's chat, why would I lie about having a black SUV? Now he's bringing up this black SUV. Totally interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Totally interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard this part. Well, is it the SUV that you sold in July? Durwood? Oh, wow. This is getting good.
Okay.
So then, Jesus Christ, it was about 2 weeks after the kids went missing, and I had been hearing on somewhere that the Mounties were making an inquiry about a black SUV. Did anybody know anything about a black SUV that was parked at the old Lansdowne gate? And I never thought any more, but I heard about it. So Jesus,
Old Lansdowne Gate? What is that?
who pulled in the yard? I was fixing my old.
That's where it was the black SUV was. And remember about that
Old-
black SUV, the transcript about it, Daphne, remember that?
Mhm.
That they said it was, I still think there's something about this. I swear I do.
Well, yeah, it said a 50 to 60-year-old man bald or something coming out of the KOA.
Well, it was before that. Before that, what they said before that, that was, I'll have to find it.
No, that
Um,
was the one that was suspicious that Karen Ponacow, I think her name is, reported it. And then there was 2 guys coming out of a black SUV that was going fishing, walking down to the ponds or lake or
They
whatever.
thought they might be fishing, I think it was.
Yeah. But
Could
the
have been that.
one that was reported in the beginning was a guy, bald mustache, coming out of the KOA campground.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm looking at this thing. Let's talk about this black SUV.
Truck out back in Foxbrook, and who pulled in the yard? This black SUV, and who jumped out of it? But Daniel Martell. I hadn't seen him in, I don't know if I could ever remember seeing him for 3 years or more.
What?
And
What?
What? How does he go from this black SUV to Dan? Am I missing something?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
No.
Play it
I gotta
again?
go
do
to
this.
black SUV.
I gotta play this again.
Okay.
So then, Jesus Christ, it was about 2 weeks after the kids went missing, and I had been hearing on somewhere that the Mounties were making an inquiry about a black SUV. Did anybody know anything about a black SUV? that
No, it
parked
was only
at the
on
old
dispatch.
Lansdowne gate? And
Oh, he's saying the gate at the
I never thought any more,
KOA.
but I heard about it.
That's what it is. I figured it out. I figured out what he's saying. He is talking on dispatch, right? On dispatch about
Yeah.
the Karen Ponacow. That black SUV had a guy and around his age with mustache, driving in a black SUV, and it
Mhm.
was a Kia Sportage, I think. Kia Sportage, or was it
Which is exactly what Durwood sold, a black Kia Sportage, wasn't it?
I think so.
I'll pull it
Kia
up. I'm trying to
Sportage.
find it.
Lorda Campground. Yes, there you go. Yes, that's it. That's what it is. The old Lansdowne gate, because it's gated right there by the park. There's a gate right there. So
Yeah,
why
but
I
heard all about the SUV. I
didn't
can't
see
believe this
anything
is
else.
the first time you guys are bringing it. It's not the first time we're bringing it up. It's far from the first time we're bringing this up. I've got pictures of the SUV of and all that. It's
But he just said
trying to figure
that,
out
yeah,
what he's actually meaning here.
yeah.
I'm going to pull up the picture. I'm trying to find it. But I don't know how he goes from, I'm trying to find the transition of how he's talking about this black SUV, then he's talking about Daniel getting out of a black SUV.
Yeah, because Daniel got out of a black SUV. And then he even said that Daniel's friends have a black SUV earlier on too, driving like, I don't know. It's crazy. There's just a black SUV involved.
Oh, Jesus. Who pulled in the yard? I was fixing my old truck out back in Foxbrook, and who pulled in the yard? This black SUV. And who jumped out of it? But Daniel Martell. I hadn't seen him in, I don't know if I could ever remember seeing him for 3 years or more. And he had another fellow with him, and there was a lady driving. So anyway, we
There
got
you go.
talking, and I said, Jesus, Daniel, what's going on with the kids? I said, Patty asked me to check in, and he said, then I knew that the kids were gone.
Right.
And I knew that, there was
No, it
people
wasn't
talking
cleared.
about
It wasn't cleared because they couldn't find it. The only vehicle that was cleared was the two guys walking to the lake. They ran that license plate. The other one they could not find. I went over those transcripts to the day, like for days. I can read them backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm digging so much to find that damn black SUV where he was trying to sell, or he sold, actually. This is why Durwood is talking about it. Let's get real, people. But see what I'm saying right here? How he goes from this SUV that is out, he hears
No,
about
there's
it, and
nobody.
then there's a,
Yeah.
you see what I mean? He's
Yeah,
talking
like
about a
why?
separate SUV. Then he's talking about Daniel getting out of a black SUV.
Maybe he's trying to insinuate something. Maybe it was Daniel's friends that were in the area. Is that what he's trying to
I
insinuate
absolutely
on?
believe it is, because his mind goes from that to this. Your mind only goes from that to
Exactly.
this for a reason.
Exactly, because you're trying to connect stuff, even if you're like subconsciously, right? Like you're just your
Absolutely.
brain's trying to
It's
connect.
how you connect it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He connected it for a reason. I just got to listen to it again, guys. I'm sorry.
more. And he had another fellow with him, and there was a lady driving.
Hold on.
And in here, thought in the world that it was Malay or Malaya's kids, that it was Jack and Lily. I never thought about that.
Okay.
So then, Jesus Christ, it was about 2 weeks after the kids went missing, and I had been hearing on somewhere that the Mounties were making an inquiry about a black SUV. Did anybody know anything about a black SUV that was parked at the old Lansdowne gate? And I never thought any more of it. I heard about it. So Jesus, who pulled in the yard? I was fixing my old truck out back in Foxbrook, and who pulled in the yard? This black SUV. And who jumped out of it but Daniel Martell. I hadn't seen him in, I don't know if I could ever remember seeing him for 3 years or more. And he had another fellow with him, and there was a lady driving. So anyway, we got talking, and I said, Jesus, Daniel, what's going on with the kids? I said, Patty asked me to check in, and he said, then I knew that the kids were gone.
Right.
And I knew that.
This is unfucking believable. Unbelievable. He is talking about this. Oh, well, Patty, called me a couple weeks before and said, oh, I need some financial advice. And then called me a little bit later and said, I'm worried about my grandkids. And then says, if you see Daniel, whom you haven't seen in years, he just said it right there, maybe mention something to him. Why do these kids got black eyes? And then he goes to this black SUV at the Lansdowne, what do you say, gate or something like that?
Yeah, the KOA, yeah.
Yeah. And now this black SUV is getting out of, is it Durwood's house again, who he hasn't seen in years, and two
That
people
Daniel's
are getting
friends
out.
are driving.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that Daniel's friends are driving, and he's like, oh, they're gone.
I find it odd too that he's putting one instance and connecting it with a completely different one, right? Like he's taking the SUV from the KOA the day Jack and Lily
Exactly.
went missing, and then he rolls it into Daniel and his friends that came to his house in a black SUV, because it makes you think that it's the same black SUV. That's what we're getting at.
1000%. 1000%.
And that's why it's
1000%. Very, very interesting that this mother chicken is.
I've always wondered about that black SUV. Yeah. It's cold. And then Daniel supposedly went and,
Go ahead.
sorry. Daniel went and picked his friends up on Saturday. And I got to thinking, I'm like, so he went into town and picked his friends up, but those friends aren't they the same ones with the black SUV? Like,
Exactly.
know.
Exactly.
I could be wrong, but
People talking about Daniel killed the kids and buried them in the woods and stuff like that. Just talk. Anyway, I said, well, Daniel, what's going on? Because I said, and I said to him, I said, Daniel, I don't believe you'd have anything to do with killing 2 children from what I knew of you and know of you. Just didn't seem to be in you. And geez, he started
knew of
crying.
you 3 years.
And he said to me, Darren, I never did anything like that.
Who started crying?
Daniel started crying.
No.
Darren said, Daniel, I didn't, from what I know of you, I never thought you would killed 2 kids. That's what he said. And Daniel started crying.
Children,
But yet he hasn't seen him in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Of you, just didn't seem to be in you. And geez, he started crying. And he said to me, Darren, I never did anything like that. It's Cindy starting all this stuff. She hates me. She hates my guts.
Oh my God.
And I said, well, I don't know, Daniel, what to tell you. I said, but one thing about it is, Daniel, I don't know, I'm just a regular guy, but I said to Daniel, I said, they're related to me, Daniel. He said, I know, that's why I'm talking to you. And I said, well, if it turns out that you did hurt those kids, I'd end up being your enemy pretty quick. Because I said, I can't put up with that. So he's, no, Darren, I never did it. I never. So I said, okay. And when they pulled out of the yard, it struck me, all of a sudden, Jesus Christ, the Mounties have been inquiring about a black SUV. And there's a black SUV.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there. I have quite a few questions I want to get through. So I'm just going to ask you to, if you could, and I know you have a story to tell. As I ask questions, just try and keep to that question.
I get you. Yeah, I don't want to prattle on. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the other question that I had, and this is curious because I think it's a general question, but I think it's an interesting one to ask you. A lot of people follow cases, and a lot of people in that local area have followed this case really, really closely. You decided to speak publicly. You've had a lot of criticism. What led you to do that?
Because I watched online. I started watching about what people were saying about the situation. And I watched a couple, I didn't know anything about true crime podcasters or anything like that. I didn't know who they were, what they were. But Jesus, I watched a couple of them, and they just went on and on and on about Daniel Martell killed those kids. Daniel Martell killed those kids. And after a while,
who cares? You're not Daniel Martell.
Oh, exactly.
Why is he sticking up for him so bad?
First of all,
why are you vouching for him? You don't even know him. You haven't seen him in 3 years, have you? I mean, come on. Sorry, but it pisses me off.
Yeah, I mean, like, why is he so invested in that? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, someone you haven't seen in years. You were someone called you right before and started talking about the kids and Malaya and Daniel. And then
Mhm.
Daniel just happens to show up in your damn. Hold on a second.
What the heck?
Wait a second. You know, I just noticed something because I'm going through these pictures. Do we know?
That I
Do
just
we
don't
know who this
understand.
is? Do we know whose vehicle this is behind Daniel?
That's in the first interview that he did.
Yeah, yeah. But do we know whose vehicle that is?
Mm-mm. That looks like some kind of Subaru or something, doesn't it?
Don't know. I'm going to show you guys
Janie's,
this
no,
picture.
Janie has a
Do you have that picture of the one?
Dodge Journey. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have the picture, the one Durwood sold? I'm digging like a mother chicken right now, trying to find it.
Mm-mm. I remember seeing it, but I don't
I-
think I ever saved
I'll
that.
look.
Hey,
It's okay.
Daniel
Probably on
called me the
Facebook.
second day. He asked me to meet him at Tim Hortons in Westville. So, I mean, Patty drew me into
Well,
it.
you
Then
sent it to me.
Daniel drew me into it. And Daniel started presenting his case to me to prove to me that he never killed those kids. And I knew everybody. So what got me is after Daniel and I talked, and I checked a few things out just because I knew a lot of the people that were involved and around the day the kids went missing. I was hearing all kinds of stuff. People were telling me that, and everything Daniel was telling me for the first while was the truth. And it convinced me that no, Daniel had nothing to do with killing those kids.
Okay.
So listening to these podcasters that were just raking Daniel over the coals about being a child murderer, I couldn't handle it. So I went online and said, look, there was no murder there. This is bullshit. What you guys are saying is bullshit. There's no, I don't believe the kids are lost in the woods, and there's certainly no murder. I don't believe Daniel and Malaya killed these kids.
Okay.
So the argument started.
Okay.
And that's how it started.
Right. So going back to May 2nd, 2025, the kids disappeared. The surrounding woods are combed, searched. When you look at the early hours of that investigation, what stands out to you the most?
Well, now you've got to understand that I wasn't even on the property until over a month after the kids went missing. I had never been out there. What stood out to me first about the early was Malaya changing her story 3 times within 24 hours. Initially, Malaya said the kids wandered into the woods. Then a few hours later, she changed that and said, "Oh, she figured they might have been abducted and wanted an Amber Alert." And then at what was it, at 12:30 or between 12:30 and 2 o'clock in the morning, she called the Mounties again and changed her story and said, "I suspect that Cody, my ex, picked the kids up and took them." So, long story short, I there was something wrong with that to me, and if I knew what was being said from testimony that was there that day with a lot of people talking.
Oh my gosh.
And I knew a lot of people that were there. And I called and asked, I called people and talked to people to verify who said what, and it just wasn't right. None of it was right. It wasn't right. And as I went through it, when I first got into this, I was looking at Daniel Martell for killing those kids. I wanted to find out. I thought, if he's killing those kids, killed those kids, there's going to be hell to pay here, boy. And the farther I
Who
looked
says
into
it like that?
the more it pointed away from Daniel Martell and it pointed towards Malaya.
Okay.
What did he say? I need to go back. What did he say?
He says,
Trying to find something.
I was looking at Daniel that he killed those kids. And he says the more and more I was digging into it, it's looking like Malaya. Like,
Oh, he's always, Malaya. He said Malaya had a, what was it?
That's, yeah,
a
that's the
vehicle
thing
and all
too.
this.
That's the thing too, Justin. Their story is the kids were given to somebody by Malaya. So why all this talk about them being murdered, right? Daniel says murdered and stuff like that in his interview, right? He says the questions on the polygraph were about the kids being murdered and stuff like that. And then Durwood's talking about it. But yet, both of them are saying the kids were given away by Malaya. So it just doesn't make sense. Why are they saying one thing and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's freaking strange.
There was something wrong with that to me, and with I knew what was being said from testimony that was there that day with a lot of people talking, and I knew a lot of people that were there, and I called and asked, I called people and talked to people that to verify who said what, and it just wasn't right. None of it was right. It wasn't right. And as I went through it, when I first got into this, I was looking at Daniel Martell for killing those kids. I wanted to find out. I thought, if he's killing those kids, killed those kids, there's going to be hell to pay here, boy. And the farther I looked into it, the more it pointed away from Daniel Martell and it pointed towards Malay.
Okay, so, and some,
That's where the shit hit the family, my family.
okay, and some people believe that the children did wander into the woods. Others say lack of evidence makes that explanation difficult to accept. Where do you stand on that?
No, I don't believe they wandered into the woods, not a bit.
Okay.
Not a bit.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
You're
I got it.
Video?
Yeah. Check this out. Look at this. Mr. O'Grady, 2016 Kia Sportage, $1,500, which seems ridiculously cheap. Possible needs engine. Boy, that sound, you know, to me, that would make a very big knocking sound. When it's going out. You know what I mean? Kind of like maybe the night Jack and Lily went missing. Was newly inspected, but sticker is gone. Still have backing paper. I don't know what that means.
Wait a minute. Isn't that the same vehicle that Brad said that he saw Daniel driving that night?
I think
the
so.
hatchback. Yeah. Oh, it was a Kia Rio Sportage hatchback or something, right?
I think this
That's
is
what that
very
is.
interesting.
I'm
going to text you something. Yeah.
breaking up on me a little, but no, I don't believe they wandered into the woods, not for a second. I believe the kids were alive when they left Lansdowne.
Right. Sorry, can you repeat that?
I believe the kids were alive when they left Lansdowne.
Okay. I'll get back. I'm going to come back to that. So I want to talk about the living situation at the property where the children disappeared. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was not good.
At the time Jack and Lily were reported missing, there were several adults connected to that household. We had Malaya Brooks Murray, the mom. We had Daniel Martell, stepdad, Malaya's partner. We also had Janie McKenzie, Daniel Martell's mother, who is the step-grandmother to the children who live on the RV on the same property, correct?
Yep.
Okay. When the investigators look at cases involving missing children. They often examine the actions and timelines of every adult present. From your perspective, how significant is it that multiple adults were living on the property at the time? And do you believe the investigators have been able to establish a clear timeline for everyone?
No, I don't believe they established a clear timeline at all. Their timeline is based on 3 people being on the property: Daniel Martell, Janie McKenzie, and Malaya Brooks Murray. I believe there was more than 3 people on that property that morning.
Sorry?
I believe there was more than 3 people on that property that morning, and I believe that's what blows their timeline all to hell.
Boy, that's interesting. That part's very interesting there. I believe there's more than 3 people on that property that morning, and that blows their timeline all to hell. Now, why does he think that? Why?
Exactly. Why? Mm-hmm.
Are there any reports of neglect, abuse before D came into the picture? Not that I'm aware of. No, not that I'm aware of. That's very interesting, Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe there was somebody else showed up on that property. By the way, I believe Janie McKenzie is totally innocent.
Now,
Okay.
why? Why do you believe she's totally innocent? Were you there?
Well, not only that, why does he if this is happening Friday night, Thursday night into Friday morning, why is he how could Janie would have had to heard more than, if there's more than fucking 3 people on the property? Come on now.
Mm-hmm. And who is this third person? Yeah, if Hayden was there, think about it. How did Hayden, if he was there, how did he get back to Patty's house, right? And bring her back to search, right? Remember, they got there around what, like 12:30 or 1 o'clock? I don't have the exact time. But if he was there, right, at 10:27, 10:30, whatever, when this happened, when they said that he was out there with the t-shirt and all this stuff, right? How did he leave there, go get Patty, and then come back that quickly? I mean, he had to been hauling ass, right? I just don't see that. And
What about old brother
why?
Justin?
Yeah.
Malaya, the children's mother, gave one interview to the media, and then she largely stepped away from public. She left the property, and she basically walked away from where the kids disappeared from. For people watching this case unfold, those developments, they've raised a lot of questions about her actions. When you look at that sequence of events, what stands out to you about that?
Well, through proven testimony, Malaya, the police asked Malaya if she felt safe on the property. Meadow was getting upset because there was too much action, too much activity landed too quick. The helicopters landed very quick, cops, dogs. It was quite a a lot of activity around. Meadow was.
How does he know Meadow was upset? He wasn't even there.
Suggested that maybe.
Somebody suggested, the CPS, the police suggested. she's not allowed on the property because 2 kids just went missing.
What is he talking about? Oh shit! What did I do? What is he? He's freaking mental.
It's just so much fucking nonsense.
Well, I think he knows
No, I'm
more.
not going to calm down. It's bullshit. It's bull.
It's
Like Justin said at the
definitely bullshit.
beginning.
It's
All these
definitely
adults, a
bullshit.
line, a 4 and a 6-year-old
All of them.
child.
Every single one of them. Every single one.
Meadow
Would you
moved out of there because she was getting too upset. That everything was upsetting her. Logan, Daniel's cousin, offered to take Meadow, and that was sort of arranged for a few minutes. Then the police asked Malaya, "Now, Malaya, do you want to leave here, or do you feel safe here and everything?" Now, this is verified by a lot more than a few people. Right at that point, Malaya wrapped her arms around Daniel's neck.
Oh, I just Belinda put Anita said Cindy traded in her car. I believe both H and his girlfriend lived with Patty at the time, but who's to say they slept at? Yeah.
Hold on, what?
I believed H and his girlfriend lived with Patty at the time, but who's to say that, where they slept at?
Mm.
And saying, "I feel safer here than I ever felt in my life." And she didn't want to leave. Then somewhere in that, Cindy butted in and said, no way is Meadow going with Logan. I want Meadow in my car. Then Cindy had a private conversation. She took Malaya into the back of an ambulance that was there. Had a private conversation just for a couple minutes with Malaya. And Malaya changed her mind when they came out of that ambulance. Cindy said, "I'm taking the baby. Malaya, get in the car. We're leaving." And that's how Malaya left.
There you go. I can see that.
Okay.
That's true.
Daniel Martell has publicly denied doing any wrongdoing. And like anyone, he's entitled, obviously, to a presumption of innocence. But his name continues to get brought up in conversations. You've just talked about him, in fact, yourself, quite at length. From your perspective, do you believe investigators have fully explored every possibility involving all the adults present?
I lost you in the last half of that. I think I got your question.
Okay. From your perspective, do you believe the investigators have fully explored every possibility involving the adults that were present when the children went missing?
I believe the cops know exactly what happened. I believe they know everything that happened, and I believe they've known it for months.
Why do you,
at least 4 months. I believe they know exactly what happened.
why do you say that?
I was privy, put it this way, to a phone conversation where I was having trouble. I was getting threatened by the cops for not giving them information and impeding an investigation.
You were really?
No. He was trying to get information from them. Remember, it's in the new documents.
He was trying to get information. He was cussing at them, all of that. And we said, I'm surprised he hasn't been charged for impeding an investigation.
Yep.
How did he say this here?
Phone conversation where I was having trouble. I was getting threatened by the cops for not giving them information and impeding an investigation.
Okay, let's just say this, Durwood. If you know information and you weren't giving it to them, that is impeding an investigation. That is the definition of impeding an investigation. You have information and you wasn't giving it to them. You are a piece of garbage, sir.
I agree. I think the Mounties know everything as well, but they got to
I
have
do too.
probable cause. They got to have, or not probable. You know what I mean? They got to have evidence, tough evidence.
Not giving them information. At the same time, they were threatening me that I might be giving them false information.
Well, you've lied.
So I was, the investigator's name at that time, the lead investigator's name was Jordan McIntyre. Him and I never got along at all, which is okay. But there was times when he was threatening me for not giving him information, and then he wouldn't take my information. So I got somebody else that had his personal number that was closely involved to call him, that was given information on the case.
Who's that, Durwood?
And told him, look, Jordan, we got some information here we want to give you. We want to give you this information. All right, I'll tell you who the guy was that called him. It was Daniel Martell himself. He had Jordan.
So
what?
He's dumb as fuck. He's literally saying he went to the RCMP and tried to give him information one time, and they just said they wasn't going to take his information. So then he tries to reroute that information through Daniel. That is impeding with an investigation, sir.
Yeah, because they know what
oh my God.
Because he keeps saying that the kids were given to somebody by Malaya, and they know that's not true. So they don't want to hear it. And he got upset when they wouldn't give him more information on what they know. Like, who does that? Who does that? Why? And, and that reminds me of when Janie came out on her voice messages in July of 2025, and she was upset because they were quiet. She's like, we haven't heard anything from them. I just wish they would tell us something. And right then and there, I knew that they were all getting nervous because the police are hush hush. When the police go hush hush, they start to squirm. And it's true.
Did he just say Jordan?
Yeah, but the guy he's talking about, his name is Jordan as well.
Okay, hold on. Let me see here.
RCMP, yeah. Oh, it's cold.
Look, Jordan, we got some information here we want to give you. We want to give you this information.
Okay.
All right, I'll tell you who the guy was that called him. It was Daniel Martell himself. He had Jordan McIntyre's personal phone number. Now, at this point, Jordan McIntyre never knew that I was there. There was 3 of us there. And before Jordan McIntyre...
So he's talking with Daniel. Hold on. Daniel's talking to the RCMP while Durwood is there. Like over a speakerphone or something, because he said I was there. Yeah, 3 of us was there.
Phone number. Now, at this point, Jordan McIntyre never knew that I was there. There was 3 of us there. And before Jordan McIntyre knew it was me, his exact words to Daniel Martell on speakerphone, which I was 2 feet away, heard as more clearly than I can hear you read. Now, and he stated, we don't want any more tips, and we don't need any more information because we already know it all.
Oh
Good.
my God.
That was my
They're
first
trying to trick the RCMP.
What's
Who
that?
does that? They're trying to trick the RCMP, and the RCMP know exactly what they're doing.
It's only going to get worse for them. Like, you're not tricking anybody, you dumbasses.
That's ridiculous. Hi, Shani.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. Hey, girl.
I haven't either. A whole
No,
lot of...
And when did that conversation take place?
That conversation took place probably in
Mm-hmm.
towards the end of July.
July?
That's when,
End of July, early August.
Go ahead.
you know when that was? That was when Janie started coming out in July, remember? And that is when his son actually came out and spoke on a couple of channels as well.
When did the black? When did Justin and them talk about the black vehicle? When did that come out?
That was around the same time. Well,
That's when I-
are you talking? The black vehicles were first
At night,
introduced
when we-
on dispatch.
What's that?
The black vehicles were first introduced on dispatch, right? You have two of them.
No, I mean the black vehicle during the nighttime. Or a vehicle
That was
during the
with
nighttime
Brad.
with Justin and them, or Brad and them.
That was Brad who said that Daniel was driving in a black Kia Rio Sportage, whatever, around the neighborhood. And he said it was a hatchback, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. A bunch of black cars. There's something going on here. Black vehicles.
Yeah, the one that Durwood sold in July. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah. Why everything is happening in July. And
This was sold
I
in
looked up
July.
on Google Trends in that area in July. And I didn't think much of it, but there was like 100 searches for hiding kids in July of 2025, which I thought was weird.
Who Googles that shit?
I don't know. Hide kids in July.
This was not Janie's car. No.
No, Janie drove a
Yeah.
bluish light.
Yeah. This is someone really close. This is either Durwood or Jordan or whatever. I know it is. We're just let him talk. Let him talk. Don't block him forever. If they're in Daphne's or mine, I can't remember which one they're in. But there's someone.
Yeah.
Just let him talk. Yes,
Oh.
Durwood is a piece of garbage. Garbage.
Anybody that lies on children or makes
Yes.
up shit, tries to intervene in an investigation is shit.
Yes.
Sorry, but it's true, in my opinion.
Yes.
It is childish.
Yeah. You're lying on a 4 and a 6-year-old who are missing, who never done anything to anybody
Mhm.
other than live like anybody else, has the right to and have a good childhood and not have fucking black eyes underneath them, and deserves a clean, decent home without all of the shit in the air. Yeah, kiss my ass if you support that. Kiss it.
Mm-hmm.
Pucker up.
I wouldn't even talk
And boy,
to
did we ever
someone
fight about that.
like that. Like
The
to
only
Daniel
thing-
and Janie.
The only thing that
And-
gets me pissed off in life is someone who harms kids, animals, someone who like is mentally, physically handicapped that cannot defend themselves. Those are the people that I can't stand. Can't
Yep.
stand them. Because you are the lowest of low. And if you support someone lying, easily provable on a lot of things that he has lied, then we're just different people. Just really are. Can't say it any other way.
Anybody with morals wouldn't have anything to do with people like that.
I mean, it's
And how are you
just the
going
way
to defend them? How are you going to defend them knowing that they starved these children, right? They hurt these children, allegedly. Like, come on. Like, how are you even going to defend somebody like that? Especially if you don't know them.
I can get
It's
along
just
with anybody, as long as they don't do that to
it's
kids,
crazy.
animals, someone handicapped, mentally, physically, whatever. Just that, like, again, why?
Yeah.
Why? Hey, Sarah, how are you, darling?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. So, turning to Janie McKenzie for a second, there's been a lot of recent accusations circulating online involving her, and there's a lot of public discussion, videos, the whole night. We've discussed some of them. But because of the claims surrounding the case, I just want to, like, what have you heard? You were saying earlier that Janie McKenzie is innocent of everything, right?
Yep. Yep. I thoroughly believe she is. Yep.
Do you believe that she has any knowledge of anything?
As far as the disappearance of Jack and Lily,
Oh, what was that?
Thank you very much for the gifts. I just wanted to reiterate, please don't send gifts at all until I appreciate them.
Gifting.
What disappearance? You do not believe that Janie has any information or knowledge of any kind?
you blanked out the last part of your sentence there. Could you repeat, please?
Sure. Regarding Janie McKenzie,
Yeah.
were you saying that you do not believe she has any information or knowledge about the children disappearing?
Not a bit.
A bullshit?
Not a bit.
You cannot be on that property and more than 3 people be on that property, Durwood, like you just said, and someone not know. You cannot.
It's
sorry.
it's
Janie's
stupidity at
dog
this
barks
point.
at everything.
Not to mention, she didn't go to freaking town that day, and she usually tells Malaya when her kids are outside because, she doesn't get up to watch her kids. So Janie has to call her or text her to let her know that the kids are outside. So she didn't do that day either. Is it just all a big coincidence, or are we all just,
Oh, it's all a big coincidence that they heard the kids, enough
ridiculous?
to know, but they were all,
Mhm.
going in and out of sleep, dozing off at just the right times. Each of them are just dozing off at the right times when Malaya and Daniel was in the house, dozing,
Mhm.
waking up just to know that they were laughing and giggling, but then going asleep whenever they, got outside of the house. And then
Yeah.
Janie was able to at least hear them outside, but then dozing off, at them leaving the yard or someone
Mhm.
taking them or whatever. It's the biggest buffoonery I have ever
It
seen.
is. It is the biggest buffoonery I've ever seen either. It's crazy. Like, they're not even trying. It's just nuts.
Why would she need a ride to town with her brother when she has her own vehicle?
Yeah, there you go.
Good question. Good question.
For some reason, they went every Friday, but that Friday they didn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Daniel said, thank God she didn't go. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to hear the kids. And that's how you know I'm innocent. Or I have nothing to do with
Mom
that.
has the golden standard timeline. Ooh. So dumb. Sorry, but it's just bullshit.
No, it's dumb as
All
hell.
right. So you and I have spoken several times. There's another story you shared with me actually about a toolbox.
Yep. Yeah.
Get ready. Get ready.
And the possibility, the belief at one point that there could be something inside of that toolbox that could be relevant to the investigation.
Yep.
The wrench Daniel
So
put on
just
the door.
for the viewers who may not have heard this story before, could you share that story about the toolbox?
Well, okay, I'm gonna state something. There's a lawyer involved in this, but there's one lawyer involved in this, and they had a theory built that there was a toolbox involved, and that there was possibly a wrench in this toolbox that was used to injure.
The only tool is you, Durwood. You're the only tool.
I don't understand. What attorney comes up with a theory about a wrench in a toolbox, right?
And why the hell would they talk about it with Durwood?
Yeah, and why this wrench? When I think of wrench, I think of the one on the door that kept the bear out, right? Because the bear didn't try to get in any other door in the house, only the front door, right? So, how did this wrench allegedly make its way into a toolbox on Durwood's property?
Oh, I forgot about that, Sherry. Thank you. Yeah, we changed the time tonight.
We're going forward, right? Forward. Ugh, I hate losing an hour of sleep. Yeah.
Oh, I love getting an extra hour daylight. Oh, this is freaky info coming, especially since the wrench over the door. Yeah. The wrench over the door never made sense until he got charged with what is it? Holding someone.
Oh yeah, But thank you, helicopter grandma.
Thank you, dear.
Little blue.
Is it Durwood hinting a wrench was what Daniel was searching for when it was his detainment? Thank you.
Well, the thing is, what gets me too is there's a lot of talk about tools, right? In this whole story, you have Daniel talking about the fence, like I said earlier, and then he said he had to go and look for his tools. It took him a little bit, but he found them. Like that statement right there stands out to me because it's filler. Like, who freaking cares if you got to go get your freaking tools, right? And then we hear about the wrench in the door, and then we hear about there was an alleged story that Daniel stopped over to Durwood's son's house and borrowed tools along the way. I could never confirm that. I've just heard that, so I don't know if it actually happened. But now he comes out and talks about a toolbox under 3 foot of snow at his property. So what are the odds?
Yeah, it takes him weeks to find a stapler.
Kill the kids. I ended up in possession of that toolbox.
What?
And when this theory was held back on me for a while.
No. I'm going to lose my fucking mind, Daphne. Okay. I didn't hear this. I knew this was supposed to be bad, but I did not hear this. So now Durwood ended up with Daniel's toolbox. Am I hearing that right?
So this is just speculation. So the story that we heard that Daniel went over to Durwood's son's house and borrowed tools, did that happen? And then Daniel used the tools because he said it took him a while to go find his tools. He used those tools to help his mom build the fence and whatever else, and then returned them back to Durwood's son. Allegedly. I mean, is that what this is going by? You know what I mean? That's speculation, of course, but I mean, what would be the point to talk about these stupid tools? Well, like I don't understand I don't understand about the tool thing. Why is there so much talk about the tool thing?
Yes, nurse, the wrench in the living room by the math head. What did nurse say? Nurse.
Wild Angel, you're in the phone one, hun. That's why. You're in the vertical chat.
Yeah, you might be in the vertical chat.
That's why. Mhm.
Well, because the lawyer was actually fishing me for information, and I knew it, but that was all right. I don't mind that, because if I believe if you're telling the truth, well, it's not going to hurt you. Tell the truth. So I was
Well,
telling
haven't
this
you?
lawyer the truth and passing information back and forth, and the lawyer told me some things that, as far as I'm concerned, the lawyer shouldn't have been saying. But anyway, that's all right. Confidential information it was supposed to be. So this theory got presented that this toolbox was used. There was a tool in this toolbox used to kill those kids. So I asked the lawyer,
Oh
crazy.
my God.
This is
I did not hear
crazy.
that.
This is
I did not hear that.
who's lawyer? How would a lawyer know about this?
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand.
And why would they tell Durwood?
Yeah, that just doesn't. Yeah. I got a headache. This is crazy.
I hope you reported this to a major crimes then, if that's the case, because I knew it wasn't true. Just
Mhm.
long story short, personal experience, being there, seeing what I saw, knowing what I know, I knew it was not true. Now, this was only a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
I called John Donaldson. John Donaldson and I are getting along better, far better than the other guys did. He talks wisely, and he's sensible
And sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Who is he?
he is the lead investigator now for the Jack and Lilly case,
Okay.
the major crimes in Marble Hill. And so I said, I'm going to nip this. I asked the lawyer if this was presented to the cops as a tip, if this information, and they said no. And
Why do you keep calling the major crimes and keep trying to say things, Durwood?
I said, why? You're a lawyer. Why in the hell would you not tell the cops this then? And believe it or not, her theory partly involved me. And that's why I knew it was bullshit. So that's all right. I said, I'm going to squash this right here.
Whose theory? Who's her? Who's her?
I guess a lawyer then.
On her theory partly involved me. And that's why I knew it was bullshit. So that's all right. I said, I'm going to squash this right here. So I called John Donaldson. I said, John, I got a lawyer. I said, presenting this theory to me. And I told him the name. I told he was surprised. He said, you're not going to name that lawyer. I certainly am. I said, here's the name.
Did you go borrow some tools, Daniel? Did you go borrow some tools? Is that why it took you a little while to find your tools, Daniel, that you're talking about? Is that what it is?
Right.
I said, here's exactly everything they're saying. And I said, I have that toolbox in my possession. I know exactly where it is. I said, now, do you want it? Because it's under about 3 feet of snow right now. And I said, if you want it, I'll put a pair of gloves on and dig it out for you so that I don't, if there is evidence in it, like if there is, what do you call it, blood or anything like that, DNA in it, I don't want to interfere with it. So I'll make sure I put gloves. If you want me to do that, I said, or if you don't, you come here. And I said, you and I'll go and I'll help you take it out, get it out from Snowbank, and I want you to have it. Now, do you know what he said to me?
What?
He said, don't bother. I said, why? He said, I know that's all bullshit anyway.
They're not going to tell you that.
Anyway.
They're not going to tell
So I
you
still got the
anything like
toolbox.
that.
Toolbox is still under about 3.
They're not going to tell you anything like that, but you might make that up saying, oh, nothing. We don't need that. We don't need that, as to set a narrative out to the public.
Know, and that's another reason amongst 20 of them that I know these police. They know what happened, and
they know what happened, and
picking up
you're
evidence
leaking
piece
like
by
a
piece
sieve
to
and
prove what
talking.
happened. And that's why I believe there's a lot. What I believe is just not from goddamn tarot cards or a psychic reading or anything like that. What I believe is built from personal experience, from people that have told me stuff that I've verified, cross-referenced with other people.
Yeah.
I'm not just...
Listen, Durwood, you said you was 90% sure last time and you needed 10%. But I do believe now that this story that he's telling is a hell of a lot more relevant parts of this story than the first one, because there is pressure here. He is feeling some pressure. Not the first time. This is a total different story.
Yeah, I don't know how
I'm just a regular guy.
What's that?
Just a regular guy. I just don't know how an attorney would know this unless she was told by somebody.
I don't believe
But
it's an attorney. I believe he's making up that part. I believe there's just parts to his story right here that is interesting, like the tools and stuff like that. Maybe there's not an attorney or whatever, but there is parts that he is talking about that is very interesting, like the vehicles, like the tools and stuff like that.
Yeah, the tools I'm definitely skeptical of. All those stories about the tools.
So you don't think the tools were his or Jordan's?
I think someone borrowed tools from his son.
That's what I mean. So I mean, it's got to be pertinent, some part of it then.
Yeah, just my opinion. I do, and I think they were given back, and maybe were used for something.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Whole thing is. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So what I mean, this story that he's saying parts of it now is a lot more pertinent than the first, bullshit that he gave when he came up here and went up on it's Sunny's and all that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But I believe what I believe, and I have strong reasons to believe what I believe, not just bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a massive misinformation.
He's not speaking until Daniel. All this happened to Daniel. And I don't find that a coincidence at freaking all.
Mm-mm.
He's getting out a narrative out there to try to get ahead of certain things to make him look better, and for him and his son, in my opinion.
Information campaign going on here from a few people, and that's my big question. The big question I want to ask yourself and your viewers, all of you: why would these people be saying so many false things? Why?
Because you guys say them.
Which people?
There's a crew, and I know that we're very sure between the private investigators and lawyers, we're very sure who the core crew is. But there's a crew of up to half a dozen people, and they own a whole bunch of fake profiles. And I'll guarantee they're watching very closely right now, a whole bunch of them.
What is he talking about?
Since I started coming out with information, they've attacked me viciously with all lies and bullshit.
I don't know who he's talking about.
the only one with fake profiles is
Daniel.
Daniel and your crew and stuff. We come on here and say it with our face.
Yeah.
Buffoon.
And anybody who's helped me, there's been a few people that stepped into this that when I started talking, that never started believing me, but some of them actually tried to disprove what I was saying. Couldn't do it. And then came online with me to keep proving what I was saying. And they've been viciously attacked with lies. And these people that are doing this, they're internet sharp. I'm a computer dinosaur. But this little group that's doing this, they're sharp. They're good at AI. They're good at they're good at really manufacturing bullshit, and that's making it very hard to distinguish the truth from a lie. And one problem with people getting information is there's some of these people are using false profiles and people that are lying as their sources, and it's making a mess of everything. Oh, one thing I want to slip.
And this is the thing. He's talking a lot about Facebook here, apparently. Most time in these groups and stuff like that, you can even go under anonymously. So, I mean, Daniel's the only one that we have known to proven to make a fake profile. Which I'm sure they're all making these fake profiles.
Like, what's the point? Like, what, you know what I mean? The only thing I could think of when people try to...
Well, I mean, I think that, I think he's talking about these fake profiles because I think him and his group are making fake profiles and putting out bullshit, and he's trying to get ahead of it. You know, look here, not here.
Mm-hmm.
Been here to make sure, to clear something up.
Yeah.
Just like Daniel did.
There's a girl named Anita Maxwell that's given a lot of information in this.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you that she's telling the truth. I want to say right open, I thoroughly believe her and her husband are telling the truth. And they've been fed a bunch of bullshit and lies about me and my family, and we've been fed a bunch of crap about them. But I know it's not true, what we've been told about them. And I hope.
And this is the thing. One thing I will, East Coast says, best believe they're all related to the RCMP. Well, you know what I'll say? Don't worry about it, because the RCMP, who knows the profiles those are, you know, RCMP knows who, trust me, they watch all of social media, all of it. They know who any fake profile is. They know Daniel's done fake profiles. They know all of that. So don't. Why are you worrying about it, Durwood? I wouldn't be worrying about someone else's fake profiles if I had nothing to do with it personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worrying about freaking anything. I mean,
Now,
other than maybe step in and try to find the kids, right? If that's your goal and really want to just find out what happened to the kids, and that's what you're going to do. But you're not going to sit there and stick your neck out for people that you hardly know or haven't seen in 3 years. And definitely if you weren't there on the freaking property when the children went missing, you're not going to stick your neck out. Like, I'm sorry, but
he still did it.
I don't know you.
They know that it's not true what they've been told about us. And I want you to know that she's given a lot of true evidence in this.
East Coast definitely has a problem with the Mounties. I've noticed in chat. Very upset with the Mounties. I'm not upset with someone who's actively trying to find Jack and Lilly Sullivan and get through the lies that has been placed on this case of a 4 and a 6-year-old. I don't know why. Just like Mr. Durwood, Daphne, is he was so mad at the Mounties, the RCMP, all of that,
Mhm.
fussing them, saying all just crazy things. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
The RCMP are paid by the you must have
I thought
by
it
the
was.
cartels. No, they're not. No, they're not.
That Anita Maxwell is telling the truth. That's one thing I want to clear up right there. Because there's been some lies and crap get in between my family and her husband, and it's caused some problems. And I want them to know my true, that I believe them. I believe her. I believe her, and there's more people than me believe her. And she's helping this a lot. She's telling the truth, and her husband, Jamie's telling the truth.
Helicopter.
Is there a gag order on things that she has said by the RCMP?
No.
That you know of?
A gag order?
I don't know if it's a gag order or not. I was told by a lawyer that she was asked to stop talking, but she hasn't. And I don't know everything she's saying. I've only gotten bits and pieces of it. And like I said, I can't take everything for the truth because there's so much crap around. But that woman's telling the truth.
All right. Now, a few months ago, this is another thing I wanted to ask you about, whether you know anything about this at all or not. And if you don't, that's fine. You may not have heard about this, but I'm sure you have because it comes from your area. A few months ago, myself, along with, I think, a couple of other creators, I'm sure, received an anonymous email. And that anonymous email in it seemingly was kind of like a witness statement almost. I don't know where it came from because it was sent by an anonymous source, but it appeared like it was a statement that was provided by a witness that came along. I believe it was Lansdowne Road. I believe. I can't recall right now, but I should have actually had it out in front of me. But anyway, on the day that children went missing, going back to May 2nd, 2025, in the morning, after the children were reported missing, there was a search going on. And people were coming along, I believe it was Lansdowne Road, and saw a couple of vehicles parked at the side of the road. And
I want to see how he responds to this.
They also saw somebody coming up from a ditch, getting into that vehicle, into one of those vehicles.
This is a good question.
Do you know anything about this at all?
Well, I don't like to make it appear like I know too much, but yeah, I'm going to restate to you what I was told about that, supposedly in confidence by a private investigator. The private investigator wants to get this information out right now and has given me permission. We talked about this earlier today, me and this private investigator. They called me when they knew I was going to be talking to you.
How convenient.
What private investigator wants something out?
What private investigator would talk to Durwood?
Oh, I think I know. She went on DT's channel and said this, didn't she?
I have no idea.
Like, what's the point of letting this out?
I want to see what he says about this because there's something. I don't know if he's talking.
So weird.
I think he's giving his own information, what he knows, and saying it's private investigators or whatever.
And they have a problem with this. One piece of evidence that they've been trying to clear up and trying to find information about it, and they can't. So they asked me that if you mention this, to let it out. So this information that I'm about to tell you doesn't come from me. It comes from a report from a private investigator. And by the way, this private investigator has uncovered a lot a lot of, it's unbelievable. I don't know how they did it. They know more about me than I know about myself. But anyway, there's a report that there was 2 vehicles stopped on the side of the road.
What time was this, Darren?
10:40 in the morning on May 2nd. 10:40.
And do you recall what road?
Right on Lansdowne Road.
Okay.
Right on the main road.
Okay, it was Lansdowne Road. Okay.
And well, actually, I think it's Gairloch Road, but yeah, it's Gairloch Road. But anyway, that the vehicle, the front vehicle, there was a guy stopped because he recognized somebody that was in the vehicles. He was out fishing, and he just stopped beside the 2 vehicles because he recognized somebody in the second vehicle. The guy in the second vehicle was Alvin McKenzie. Alvin verified this with me.
Is that Janie's brother?
Mm-hmm.
Alvin?
Yep.
Boy, how convenient. How convenient
And he
that's
lives right around. Mhm.
yeah. How convenient that Janie's getting these calls. And she's all of this is going on, and now it's Daniel's family just happens to be out there.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Well, no, he mentions Hayden too. But the thing is, if this was around 11 o'clock, then how did Hayden have enough time to go pick up Patty and be back at like what 12:45, 1 o'clock, right?
Who picked
To
up
search
Patty?
for Jack and Lily. Hayden. Patty
Hayden.
rode with Hayden to, which is Malaya's stepbrother or half brother, to Jack and Lily's house, which is like what, an hour away.
The day the kids went missing?
Yes. So this is the day the kids went missing. He said it was around 11 o'clock, 10:47 or something like that, right? So if Hayden was out there, how did he have enough time to drive all the way back, right? And get Patty and then come all the way back in time to search for Jack and Lily? It just doesn't add up. Where is Belinda still in here? Belinda, how long does it take? How many, or how, like for an hour, 45 minutes from Gairloch Road to Patty's house? Do you know?
I think it's like 15 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. 45 minutes. Thank you, Ashcast. So
The
think
people
about
in
it.
the front vehicle,
Sorry.
It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. I mean, yeah, you could if you're hauling ass, but you know,
we're not
maybe in a
sure who the
car in the
driver
back.
was.
But no. Wait a second. No. Because Patty. Okay, wait a second. Patty called in the documents Cindy that morning.
Yes.
Cindy missed the call.
Because she was out at the barn with the horses.
Yes. And Cindy
Mhm.
got there about 1 or 1:30 in the
East Coast,
afternoon.
then go somewhere else. You don't have to be here listening. Bye. Dang.
Yeah. I mean, we've let you
Like, it's
speak your
ridiculous.
opinion, East Coast. I mean,
Yeah, you
probably
don't
should
even
have
make no
blocked you a
sense.
long time ago.
Yeah.
It's clear that you are one
I'm
of
just rambling.
yeah. Yes, 45 minutes.
Thank you. So think about that. So that morning, exactly. So Patty called Cindy, right? And this was
Mhm.
around the 10 o'clock range. And Cindy missed the call. Hayden was the one that actually drove Patty to Lansdowne. She rode in the vehicle because he drove her home.
Mm. Yeah, something's wrong here.
Yeah, the timing doesn't
There's a
add
lie
up
here.
because
There's a lie here.
they
That's
yeah.
and where there's a lie, generally they don't want you to know something. So we need to tighten that one up.
What time did they show up? It
Was-
was like around 1 or 1:30 or something.
Well, I know Cindy showed up at like 1 or 1:30. I know that because
So
I've
and
got the
Patty
text
showed up at the
messages.
same time. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, Robin.
Was Hayden, Malaya's brother.
Oh.
The people in the front vehicle were not sure who the driver was. Was Hayden.
First of all, why is there two vehicles like in front of each other in Lansdowne Station, just like pulled off of a road here?
Mhm.
And one of them is Daniel's family.
Yeah. That just doesn't make sense,
Malaya's
right?
Mm-mm.
brother, and
It
the
is.
girl in the ditch that took
The girl in the ditch?
the shirt up on the ditch was a girl named Emily Ogley, Hayden's girlfriend.
Okay, sorry, Darren, you broke up there. Could you repeat that a little bit from, you said that after Alvin McKenzie, could you repeat that a little bit?
Alvin McKenzie was in the second vehicle that was parked in behind the first vehicle. The people in the first vehicle was Hayden, that's Malaya's brother, and his girlfriend was out of the vehicle, coming up out of the ditch with a shirt. And apparently there was another shirt down in the ditch, and then there was some rags or something hanging in the tree.
See, I heard it was Jenna Jowdry that was there.
This is amazing that he's saying Hayden was there at 10:40
Mm-hmm.
in the morning. And
This
not
shit's
with
also stupid.
his sister. He's down the road.
The guy stopped because he recognized Alvin. The car they were driving was a maroon-colored car. And the private detective is fairly sure. Now remember, this is coming from the private detective. This is not my testimony. The person in the maroon-colored car that was driving it, they believe to be Justin Martell. Now, there was supposed to be no phone calls or anything during that time. So this is one of the suspicions that the private investigator had that I never had. It's totally independent of me believing there was more than one person. There was more than 3 people in the property that morning. So it's independent of what I believe. It's independent testimony from me. But the private detective believes that there's a good possibility that maroon car was owned by Cindy. Cindy owned a maroon vehicle at that time.
Oh,
and then
shut
immediately
the
after
fuck
that,
up. There's no way Cindy is going to do that. Not a fucking chance. I don't believe. Listen, I think Cindy babied Malaya and all of that shit, but I don't believe Cindy had absolutely shit to do with taking
Mm-hmm.
the kids or anything like that. Number one. Number two, Daniel. It's very interesting that Daniel has always pushed for Cindy. Cindy.
Yep.
No. No. Not a chance. Not a chance. So it makes me look at Daniel's family that much more.
Yep.
And exactly. They don't even, the families don't even care for each other. Exactly,
Nope.
Mohawk. Exactly.
The maroon vehicle got traded in for a newer vehicle, and the private detective traced it and found that just suspiciously, they're suspicious, and I don't know how they found this out, and that the vehicle was traded in so fast that there was still like personal stuff inside the vehicle. So the private detective is
Yes,
very suspicious
I do. I do. I can look for it.
that there was more people there that night than just the three people, than just Janie, Malaya, and Daniel. So that's what I was told, and the private detective is wanting anybody. What they're doing is asking me to put that out there. If it was mentioned, to put it out there, because anybody knowing any information about that, and they asked me to contact Alvin McKenzie and ask him again about that, because I talked to Alvin about that, and he verified he was there. He verified who was in the vehicle in front of him, but I never asked him if it was Justin Martell or not, and I never asked him whose vehicle it was.
Okay.
So I don't really want to bother Alvin. I don't want to bother the McKenzies, because I believe they're under a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've known them for a long time, and I find the McKenzies decent people. Apart from what everybody's saying about them, most of them are decent, hard-working people.
Okay.
And most of the McKenzies are not very happy about those kids missing, I'll tell you that. So that's what I know about your question. That's all I know about that questionnaire, is what I was told by a private detective, and that's what I was told to bring out. So,
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's interesting. All right. So the other thing I wanted to ask you about too was, and it's quite common that when someone like yourself speaks publicly about a high profile case and turns, the attention turns inward on them, right? And individuals online have gone as far as suggesting that you may have had somehow something connected to what happened to Jack and Lilly. Those are serious accusations. And what's your response to people who have made those claims?
Okay, before we get to that, I want to just show you guys this right here. Here is Cindy. I've got she missed the call from Malaya at 11:33 in the morning, right? It appears as May 2nd at 11:33 missed. Okay. And then at 12:01, Malaya text park on the side of the road. Okay. 12:01, I'm on my way now. Malaya says, okay. 12:08, there's a video call that lasts 2 minutes and 31 seconds. And this is Cindy saying, send Amber Alert. Tell the police to send out an Amber Alert. That was 12:24, and she's still not there at 12:24.
Still driving, yeah. She probably wasn't even on the road when she did the video call. Because how is she going to do a video call while she's driving, unless somebody else is driving, I guess, right? But, yeah, so she got there around between 1 and 1:30, same as Patty.
Mm-hmm. They all see neglect, House of Cards, tumble down. Mm-hmm.
My freaking head hurts from Durwood. How much longer do we have on here?
Well, lately,
We'll do about maybe 10, 15 more minutes.
and from
Okay.
what I'm hearing, and it's secondhand stuff, which I can hardly believe, is members of my own family are even lying. My family over in Truro, if what I'm hearing is accurate, I'm stunned. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. And I'm not, and I'll tell you about Patty Allen. Patty, you will never. I've been told that Patty's even saying stuff that's wrong. And I don't believe it. But I will tell you this. I will never, I don't care what Patty Allen says about me, if it's true or not.
No choice.
If it comes from some kind of dementia that she's having problems with, she's having serious health problems, has had for quite a while. I don't care what Patty Allen says. I will never say a bad word about Patty Allen. Never. She can say whatever she wants about me. And because I know Patty and I have had a life that's close and true. And Patty, I don't believe that Patty doesn't know what the hell's going on. Patty's at a loss. And Patty's wish is to see those kids again before she passes away, and that's what I want. And it's as simple as that. Like, it's been made. Okay, here's I can tell you the bullshit that's been spread about me. I'm a drunk to start with. My red nose. I got a skin condition. It's called rosacea on my nose. Well, big fucking thrill. I'm not happy about it either. I haven't had a drink. I might have drank at Christmas parties, and I think I drank 20 beer in the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm the town drunk. I run a meth lab. Me and my son run a meth lab with Daniel Martell. Daniel sells it for me. Me and my son, we produce it. I'm a child killer. I buried the kids in the driveway in one of the potholes with a fucking excavator. I've heard it all.
What the fuck?
And you know what?
Who would joke?
I never realized there's so many goddamn idiots and liars in my life. And what that doesn't bother me, the idiots and liars that are just idiots. But what does bother me is, why are people close to Malaya and close to my family saying some stuff? That's what bothers me.
Well, have you not? Why are you simping for Daniel's family?
Daniel.
Yeah. The ones with the math, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? There's a cover-up going on here by people that are close to Malaya.
And Daniel's the one that's, again, unrelated, but getting arrested for the stuff. Got it, Durwood. Got it.
Yeah. And the one doing the drugs, and the one freaking,
the one that's the abuses came from, allegedly, and all this stuff. Got it. You're so much sense, Durwood.
And I wonder all the time. I think Daniel's sort of in on it. He's in on the cover-up. I think Daniel's even protecting Malaya to a point. I know after a certain point, Daniel told me the truth for months, and I checked him out hard. And that's why I come out and said no. And I don't believe the kid. They're not guilty of murder. I don't believe it. Because neither one of them has it in them to kill a kid, even as screwed up as they got.
How do you know?
But they're guilty of other things.
How do you know?
Drugs came in.
I don't understand. How does he know for sure? When people are on drugs, they do the craziest shit. Like, how does he know?
Yeah. Good question. I will never say someone directly unalive someone.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, when there is kids living in a crack house and they are missing 40 some days of school, and they are showing up with bruises under their eyes and bruises everywhere else, and there is all kinds of stuff going in the home, all this alleged fraud and everything else, when there is, and his own children said that he was abusive to Jack and Lilly. And we know that, in my opinion, at least, he's abusive to women based upon, even though he's innocent until proven guilty with what happened with Malaya, but what he is, I have shown you guys, happened to other exes as well. I think that speaks for itself, what someone is
Mhm.
capable of, in my opinion. But it's Malaya's people. Now, as much as I think Malaya has been terrible with speaking out about her kids and everything else, it wasn't Malaya's family or anyone that has ever been abusive or even accused of being abusive to Jack and Lily. It happened whenever they moved at Lansdowne.
Good night, Cal. Yeah, exactly. It started when they moved there.
Night, Cal.
Yep.
So, but Daniel and Durwood and them, they blame it on Malaya's family.
Yeah.
Again, I think Malaya was
Yeah.
neglectful and all of this stuff, but I
Oh, yeah.
don't
I
think
think
she was
like at home.
this abusive, like as in physical hitting and stuff.
Yeah, I
as
don't think
much
she
as
was
it
the one
was.
doing that.
Yeah.
And I mean, could it have gotten so bad there that I don't know.
Welcome.
Into their home. They got fucking around with drugs.
Okay, so
And along with the bad drugs came the company of some bad people.
That interesting. I agree with
Mhm.
that.
so let me ask you directly, Darren.
Yep.
Have you ever had any involvement whatsoever with the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan?
Not, well, of course not. Of course not. Not one bit. I've searched for those children.
Thank you,
I've
Shannon.
searched for those children for the
Thank
first
you, Miss
month
Shannon.
after I realized where I started finding information, and then I started believing I knew who had them. I started believing I knew what happened.
Right.
I searched
No,
for
no,
those
no, no, no,
children.
no.
I searched.
No, sir. You didn't believe. You said you knew what happened. You just
Yeah.
needed 10% more.
1,000% ironclad.
Yes. It's ironclad.
Oh my god.
For them on the Indian Brook Reservation. From the information I got from good people on the Indian Brook Reservation, I headed from there over to Hammond's Plains. I searched as good as I could Hammond's
Okay,
Plains,
good.
which is vast now. I was there years ago, but there's no apartment. You never find needle in a haystack. And I searched through Millbrook. I never did any great things. I'm just a regular guy. But I'll tell you this: I burned up one old
What does
truck
that
looking for
mean?
them. And the only reason I want to find them, is well, okay. Look at it this way: say Patty never asked me to help. Say Daniel never got involved with me, came in looking for me and getting me, and then say the rest of them never come after me to help and tell them what I know. Hayden came after me initially to tell them what I know.
He says they're all coming to him for help. Whether it's Patty, whether it's Daniel, whether it's this person, whether it's that person, they're all coming
Yeah.
to Durwood, Mr.
Mm.
Durwood, for the help, right? Durwood,
Holy
the
freaking
one
craziness.
that is selling,
Mhm.
a very similar vehicle to, like, the neighbors say that Daniel was perhaps driving that night. Right, Janie? Right.
Say none of that happened. What the hell is wrong with me caring about little kids? Caring about the welfare of these
What
kids?
the hell's wrong with you
Last
being
time
a
I saw
liar?
these kids, they were sitting at Patty's table, happier than hell.
Mhm.
Ice cream running down their face, eating like two little buggers, just eating. And they were having the time of their lives. And that's the last time I saw them two little kids.
But he said in the beginning here, Daphne, that Patty
Yeah,
said
he never
that wanted to get him a car because Malaya had a couple kids and they wanted
Mhm.
them to be safe. But
Exactly.
Durwood says here, oh, I just want, that's the last time I seen him. Ice cream running down her
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, that's odd when you hadn't seen him before. Thank you, helicopter grandma.
Thank you,
Thank you,
helicopter.
dear. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But I haven't seen Daniel in 3 years, but yet he lived there. Well, I mean, I guess how long were they living in Lansdowne? For 3 years?
Yep, 3 years. Yep.
Thank you, crime. I appreciate you, dear. 3 years. So that means if he hadn't seen him in 3 years, he must have seen him at Patty's then. Right? Because that's where they lived prior. 2023, 4, 5, 6.
But he said he hadn't seen Daniel.
In 3 years, yeah. But if you oh my God, I swear it's crazy. In years, yeah. At one point he said years.
I want
Mhm.
Nuts.
them alive, and I want to see them eating ice cream again, and I want Patty to be sitting there smiling. And Daniel Martell and Malay should never get their hands on another child as long as they live.
That's
Daniel's
exactly
not
right,
innocent.
Shannon.
Daniel's not. They're not. They both passed lie detector tests when the questions directly were about murder. And Janie McKenzie gave them more shit about not taking good enough care, keeping good enough track of those kids. She gave Daniel a lot of shit over them not taking.
So you're saying you believe that Janie was concerned that the kids were neglected because she was giving them shit that they weren't watching the kids good. And so she didn't do anything about it either.
Good enough care. Those kids not watching. She never knew what the kids were eating or not eating. And what drives me really crazy about this is there's a lot of proof that these people were paying for drugs and weren't feeding those kids. And for that to happen, yeah, I take it personal. I take it personal with any kid. I take
That's
it personal with your
crazy.
kids. If your kids were hungry and I had a buck, I'd buy them a burger. I just give a shit, that's all. And I guess I'm guilty of that.
Just out of curiosity, were you ever asked to take a
I get pissed off over it.
Were you ever asked to take a polygraph?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
RCMP.
So why do you think that some people have made accusations against you?
There's a very good question. I think the podcasters have made accusation against me because of this core group feeding them bullshit for subs and views.
What core group?
For a couple bucks.
What core group? I don't understand.
That's
What
where I
core
think
group?
a lot of it starts. There's a cover-up going on here.
Can't even spell
And the
corporate.
cover-up is to cover up what Malaya Brooks Murray knows.
See? Right.
And
Nobody is going to stick up
Murray
for
knows.
somebody they don't. Come on, man.
There we go. There we go. This
so
Blame,
there's a
blame,
cover-up.
blame.
you cannot convince me that Daniel and Durwood and Janie are in cahoots together at least some way, shape, or form.
Something connects them.
Yeah, because again,
Something.
it's Malaya and Cindy.
goodness.
Malaya and Cindy. Malaya,
Mhm.
Cindy. Malaya, Cindy. Cindy, Malaya. Cindy, Malaya.
But yet the RCMP hasn't made an arrest or anything. So they know more than the RCMP. I don't know.
Yep. All right, guys. I have a message that I need to say to you guys. I got the message while we were live. Actually, it's very upsetting, to be quite honest with you. If you are the prey, I'm going to try not to get emotional about this.
I know I'm like gonna cry because I know what you're
If
gonna
you
say.
are the praying kind or the good vibes, good energy, please, 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 I beg you, our friends, Mr. and Mrs. E, here on this platform.
Mm.
I've met Mr. and Mrs. E. I've met their beautiful, beautiful, beautiful family. Very honored. They leave a message on their community post. They also texted me just a little bit ago. Friends, the MRI did not come back as we hoped. The tumor is back. This is their son and has spread. I can't even read it.
He's 17. He's just a baby. That's just so sad. I just couldn't.
The tumor is back and has
Mm.
spread, and doctors think our time with middle E is limited. Although this is a very difficult prognosis, we will not stop fighting for our son. While medicine may sometimes reach their limits, our faith does not. We believe in a God who still performs miracles, a God who can heal with one touch, one word, and one breath. So we are gathering as a community to do the most powerful thing that we can do, and that is pray. Please join us in concentrated prayer for God to perform a miracle and completely heal middle E. We are asking for everyone to pray for middle E at the same time. We will be praying together with our local friends and family on Monday, March 9th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. This will not be televised on our channel. We are asking that you pray at the same time wherever you are.
Mm.
Thank you for all who have continued to pray for our son. We appreciate you all so much. Love, Mr. and Mrs. E. Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible, but not with God. All things are possible. Mark 10:27.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that hurts my heart.
Middle E is such a good young man. And when the day I met him and they were, looking at Remy, my monkey, and all, it had not been long since he was diagnosed. And he was going through treatment then. And just brilliant, just a brilliant family. And he was just as peppy and full of, I don't know, just love and just the sweetest family you could honestly imagine.
No child should have to go through that. It's so devastating. And he's probably in his last year of high school. His whole life is ahead
6
of him.
p.m.
and then
6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that would be 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5
Mhm.
p.m. Is it Mountain?
Yes, Mountain would be 2 hours, like Arizona time, right?
Let me see here.
And then, yeah, West Coast would be 4.
It would be
No, wait.
6. It's so it's if it's
Yeah, 4.
6 p.m. Central, it would be 7 p.m. Eastern,
East Coast.
5 p.m. Mountain, and 4 p.m. No. Yeah, 4 p.m. Pacific. 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, and 7
Yes.
p.m. Eastern.
Eastern. There you go. And then 8 p.m. Atlantic.
Yeah.
I think that's what you say it.
Um,
Atlantic time, yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. E asked me to ask you guys for prayers. They said that they are not giving up, but they are celebrating him, and we're gonna pray for healing and some, because God can and will do miracles. I believe with all my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We may I don't know. I might do like a members only and do like a prayer with them at that time or something. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to like televise it, but I want to remind people.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. We can
Yes, Mr. and
repost their
Mrs. E.
post too.
Absolutely. Mr. and Mrs. E, they do have a channel, and here I will drop it. Mods, if y'all could drop Mr. and Mrs. E's channel as well. So, all right, guys. Yeah, Patriot. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Justin, for having me on.
Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you.
I'm gonna go take a whole bottle of freaking Advil now.
I got a headache. I have such a headache right now. Bless Jack and Lily, and bless Middle E, and bless all of you guys as well. Thank you all so much for being with us. The E's are, I cannot tell you just how freaking wholesome they are as a family. They are as a family. The day we went to the prayer vigil for Sebastian, I went after that. I went out and did some video where where Sebastian was last seen, and all that.
Mhm.
And the E's called me and they said, "Where you at?" And I said, "Oh, I'm around here and just doing some videos and trying to talk to some people and stuff like that." And they said, "Are you going to the dinner or something?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm probably going to go to the dinner, but." And but it was like an hour away or something like that. And they said, "Well, can we go? Can we go see Pearl?" And Pearl she was just a little thing at the time. And I met him, and that's when I got to have the privilege to meet the family,
Mhm.
and they just loved Remy, and it was so nice to meet them and see them, and they're just the best people, the best. And I think this is the second time this family has had so many trials. This is, I think, the second time Middle E has been through this, and they had another child that had cancer. And thank God he's okay now, but um, they've just been through it, and pray.
It's devastating. It's just, I can't imagine.
Yeah, yeah. So if you
I
will go
just
over there
can't.
and set a reminder on your phone. Again, the prayer
Mhm.
in one accord is going to be March 9th. Today is the 7th. So today is that's Monday.
Yes.
Yes,
So that's 2
Monday,
days from now.
6 p.m. Central. And please set a phone alarm.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Belinda. Thank you so much,
Thank
honey.
you. Thank you all.
And all that. So we you can support them in any way. I'm sure that not they're asking or anything like that, but become a member or anything on their channel. I'm sure it's all appreciated. But the main thing is just pray. Just pray. Yeah. All right, guys. Much love. Thank you, Daph.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
Appreciate
I'm
you
gonna go
guys.
send some love over to their channel when I get off here.
Yeah. Me too.
Thanks.
Love you guys. Good night.
Love you. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Good night, Justin.
Good night.